Picture this moment with me. You're standing at a checkout counter. The cashier says, "That'll be $50. You reach into your wallet, and you have two choices. Choice 1. Pull out a crisp $50 bill. Hand it over, watch it disappear from your fingers. Choice 2. Tap a piece of plastic against a screen. Hear a little beep, walk away. Same $50, same purchase. But here's the question that changes everything. Which one hurts more? If you said the cash, you're not alone, and you're not crazy. You're just human. And that human instinct, that tiny hesitation before handing over physical money, the banks found it. They studied it. And then they built a $1 trillion empire around eliminating it. Welcome back to the Credit Game. I'm your host. And if you watched Chapter 1, you learned the brutal math behind credit card debt, how a $5,000 balance can cost you $115,000 over a lifetime. The numbers don't lie. But today we're going deeper. Because the math alone doesn't explain why smart people like you and me, keep swiping when we know we shouldn't. This is Chapter 2, The Psychology of Debt and the Invisible System. I'm going to show you the brain hack that makes you spend 83% more without realizing it. I'm going to reveal the 2 companies secretly taxing every transaction you make. And I'm going to prove to you that when it comes to your credit card, you're not the one playing the game. You are the game. Let's dive in. All right, let's start with a story. A true story. It's 2008, MIT. 2 researchers, Drazen Prelek and George Lowenstein, are running an experiment. They invite people into a lab and show them products. Nice stuff. Concert tickets, fancy chocolates, electronics. Then they split the group in half. Half the participants have to pay with cash. The other half, credit cards. Same products, same prices, same people. But here's what happened. The credit card group spent, on average, 83% more than the cash group. 83%. Not 8%, not 18%, 83% for the exact same items. Why? The researchers decided to look inside people's brains, literally. Using fMRI scanners, they watched what happened when people paid for things. When someone handed over cash, a specific part of their brain lit up. It's called the insula. And you know what the insula does? It processes pain. Physical pain, emotional pain, loss. Your brain treats losing cash the same way it treats touching a hot stove. It hurts. But when someone swiped a credit card, the insula stayed dark, silent. No pain signal, no warning bell. It's like they discovered an off switch for your financial self-preservation instinct. Think about that for a second. Every time you swipe a card, your brain's natural defense system goes offline. You're flying blind. And the banks? They know this. They've known it for decades. This phenomenon has a name. Researchers call it the pain of paying. And credit cards? They anesthetize it. You're not weak. You're not bad with money. You're just a human being whose biology was designed for a world where all payments hurt, where every transaction required you to physically hand over something valuable.
But we don't live in that world anymore. We live in a world where money is invisible, where payments are frictionless, where you can buy a $2,000 laptop with your face, and your Stone Age brain, it has no idea what's happening. Now here's where it gets really diabolical, because the banks didn't just remove the pain of paying. They did something even more clever. They made debt feel like a game. Think about it. Nobody wakes up excited about owing money. Debt is scary. It's stressful. It represents obligation, restriction, failure. So how did they get us to line up for it? How did they convince an entire generation to compete for more credit cards? Simple. They rebranded it. They stopped calling it borrowing and started calling it earning. They created points, miles, cash back, rewards tiers, platinum status, gold status, black cards that make you feel like James Bond. Suddenly, you're not spending money anymore. You're earning rewards. You're not going into debt. You're being strategic. You're not overspending. You're maximizing value. It's genius. Evil genius, but genius. They took the most boring, terrifying financial product in existence, the high-interest loan, and turned it into a video game. And here's the psychological trick that makes it work. Variable rewards. You know what else uses variable rewards? Slot machines, social media, Candy Crush. Every time you swipe your card, there's a tiny dopamine hit. Ooh, I just earned 47 points. Every statement, you're checking your rewards balance. Just 3,000 more points until I get that free flight. You're chasing the bonus, the sign-up offer, the triple points promotion. And while you're chasing, you're spending. The credit card companies did a study. They found that people with rewards cards spend, on average, $430 more per year than people without them. And that's not counting the interest. You think you're beating the system. You think you're getting free money. But here's the truth bomb. The house always wins. That flight to Cabo you earned, you prepaid for it. With overspending, with interest, with that $95 annual fee. The math is designed so that unless you're hyper-disciplined, unless you never carry a balance, never overspend, and always pay in full, you lose. But it doesn't feel like you're losing. That's the whole point. It feels like you're winning. Right up until you look at your statement and realize you've spent $800 more than you planned this month.
Okay, so they've removed the pain of paying. They've gamified debt. But there's a third layer to this psychological warfare, and it's called friction. Let me explain. Imagine you're at a farmer's market. You see a beautiful bouquet of flowers, $30. You reach into your wallet. You count out 3 tens. You hand them to the vendor. They hand you the flowers. How long did that take? 10 seconds? 15? In those 15 seconds, something happened. Your brain had time to think, time to calculate, time to question. Do I really need flowers right now? I just bought flowers last week. Maybe I should save this money. You know what? I'll pass. That delay, that counting, that awkward exchange, that's friction. And friction is the enemy of spending. The credit card industry, along with their friends in Silicon Valley, declared total war on friction. They wanted to reduce the time between I want it and I own it to 0, literally 0 seconds. That's why Amazon has one-click ordering. That's why your credit card is saved on every website. That's why Apple Pay lets you buy things with your face. That's why Uber charges you automatically when the ride ends. No counting, no thinking, no time to change your mind. Tap, beep, bought. There's a term psychologists use, mental accounting. It's how your brain keeps track of your money in different mental buckets. When you hand over cash, you feel that bucket getting lighter. You can see it. 3 $20 bills become 2, 2 become 1, 1 becomes 0. But when money is just a number on a screen, those mental buckets leak. You bought coffee, and lunch, and a new book, and a subscription, and shoes on sale, and dinner delivery. Each transaction, painless, frictionless, instant. But at the end of the month, you look at your credit card statement, and you're staring at a number that makes your stomach drop. Wait, I spent how much on takeout? How is that possible? It's possible because you never felt it leaving. Your brain never registered the loss. You were living in a beautiful, dangerous illusion where money felt infinite. That's the frictionless trap. And every year, it gets tighter.
Let me give you 4 warning signs. 4 signs that you're not playing the game. You're in the game. Warning sign number 1. You're using your credit card for boring, essential stuff. Gas, groceries, utility bills. Not because you want rewards, but because your checking account is empty. That's not strategy. That's survival. Warning sign number 2. You feel a little knot in your stomach when you open your banking app. You know something's wrong, but you don't want to look. That's anxiety. That's your subconscious trying to warn you. Warning sign number 3. You're playing what I call the shell game, paying one credit card with another credit card, juggling balances, robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's not managing debt. That's drowning in it. Warning sign number 4. You catch yourself saying, I'm doing it for the points, while carrying a balance.
Friend, if you're paying 22% interest to earn 1% cash back, the math isn't mathing. That's the gamification working perfectly. If any of those signs hit home, I need you to hear this. You're not stupid. You're not weak. You're not bad with money. You're a human being trying to survive in a system that was designed by the smartest behavioral scientists and economists in the world to exploit your psychology. But here's the good news. Once you see the game, you can stop playing.
We've covered a lot today. The pain of paying, the gamification trap, the war on friction, the invisible duopoly. But knowing how you got into the trap is only the first step. The next step? Getting out. And to do that, you need to understand the single most important number in your financial life. The number that determines whether you can buy a house, lease a car, or even rent an apartment. I'm talking about your credit score. In Chapter 3, we're demystifying the holy grail of modern finance. I'm going to show you the rich uncle hack that can boost your score by 50 points overnight. I'm going to reveal the timing trick that credit card companies don't want you to know. And I'm going to teach you how to delete errors from your credit report for free. The escape plan is just getting started. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and I'll see you in Chapter 3. Until then, stay sharp.